We're going to be doing a fixing my old art challenge. I've seen quite a few of these videos on YouTube before, and it's been something I've wanted to try for a while. It's sort of fun to do. I think these videos are entertaining, and I think it'd be nice to see some of my progress. So first I want to start off in 2018, and let's just go through a few of the finished drawings. I remember doing like a Link inspired, like I wanted to do a gender swap on Link, so this was that version back in 2018. Yeah, I wanted to do a Viking drawing at this time, or like a Nord or something. Just like, I don't remember where I was inspired from this, probably The Last Kingdom or something like that. I used to love that show. This was Dark Souls inspired. Yeah, oh, and Tris Marigold. I remember at that time, this was like the top of my skill in 2019. This Tris Marigold, I remember I was like, or not 2019, it says 2023, but it's 2019 was the modified, 2023 was when I moved it to this, but yeah, this was like the top of my skill in 2019. I wanted to do, like, usually every year I'll do like a drawing that's just like the absolute max of what I can do of my artistic skill for that year, and I'll spend like a ton of hours on it. This I probably spent like close to 50 to 100 hours. I remember working on this for like 2 weeks straight, so yeah, I think this is going to be the one we do. Yeah, so I went ahead and pulled this, just the actual photo, into my Procreate, and I'm trying to figure out the cropping, how I want to crop this image, because I don't like the way that the crop is on this. So that's going to be the first thing we do to fix this old drawing. We're just going to work on the cropping here, and frame it a little bit better. And then I can already see that like the legs are pretty bad. I mean, everything about this needs improving on, but first we got to get the cropping right. And I'm also, you can see the layers up there too. Trying to figure out like what's a good layer limit we want at at like a pretty decent resolution as well. So yeah, that resolution seems pretty okay. Maybe basically gonna have to just redo this entire pose, I believe. Been messing with it for a little bit here, and there's just so much to fix. I think what I'm going to end up having to do is just completely redo this face. So yeah, I'm gonna, in the video, I'm gonna actually fast forward this part, and then I'll hop back in. Yeah, so at this point, I just wanted to try a couple of different things with like the color and stuff. I wanted to sort of avoid completely starting over from scratch. So I tried to just fix things in this painting. What I ended up realizing a little bit later on is that, yeah, I'm basically wasting time. Though I did figure out some things, like I did figure out that I wanted to change the pants colors to like this reddish hue color, because it would sort of blend in a little bit more towards the bottom and maybe like lead the focus up towards the face and things like that. So I did figure out some little things like that which could be helpful, but as you can see right here, I'm basically just overpainting on one layer at the moment, trying to figure some things out. And there comes a point where I basically just end up taking this entire drawing right here and lowering the opacity, and then doing like a sketch over. I didn't actually record that part. I thought I did, but apparently I didn't, so I either lost it or something, I'm not really sure. Yes, I ended up doing a sketch, and so we're just gonna jump ahead. Okay, so at this point, I worked on it quite a bit. The total time at this point is probably about 6 hours, and what I ended up doing is restarting from scratch basically, and repainted this drawing. I did try to keep some original aspects in there, like the blue jacket. I basically kept that as part of the original drawing, and then I like painted over it, but there's some parts that are original. I think that this style, or this, is a lot better. I wanted to try and tell a story with this one, because in the previous version it really didn't tell much of a story, and in this one I was thinking about what story could be told with this drawing, and so I made this burnt forest in the background, and the trees are falling. It's really atmospheric with like the smoke or the foggy look of things. And my thoughts on that was like, well, she's a sorceress, right? And she's always competing with Yennefer for Geralt. So I was like, well, how would she feel if, Geralt chose Yennefer one too many times, Maybe she burned this forest down, and now she's just drinking an ale, like, by herself, thinking about life. And so, like, yeah, I sort of was thinking about that a little bit, and so I like, made some of the makeup sort of, like, dripping down from her eyes as if she'd been crying a little bit. Some things like that. I tried to add a bit more mood to this drawing in general, and I definitely think that doing that, taking that leap, I definitely think that paid off. But without further ado, let's look at the before and the after. And the total time spent on this newer drawing was 8 hours and 3 minutes.